Once again, then, Palestinians reporting indiscriminate fire into crowds of people trying to get food. At least 33 more killed as witnesses told stories of facing gunfire as they and those around them surged towards aid sites. One man saying, "I couldn't stop and help because of the bullets." Well, it comes as Israel's Prime Minister has asked the International Committee of the Red Cross to help the hostages in Gaza, that after videos were released at the weekend showing two of them emaciated.
They don't want a deal. They want to break us with these horror videos, with this horror propaganda they spread in the world. But we won't be broken. I am filled with more determination to release our hostages, to eliminate Hamas, to ensure Gaza will no longer pose a threat to the state of Israel.
Benjamin Netanyahu speaking there. Well, amid those two lines that we brought you there, of course, situation and the negotiations between Israel and Hamas remaining at an impasse. Our international affairs editor, Doug Herbert, is with me here on set. Doug, there's no sign of a breakthrough. If anything, things are getting even more hardened.
Yeah, look, those two videos released by Hamas, near universal condemnation, shock and horror, essentially using starving people, images of emaciated hostages as essentially tools of war, propaganda tools, which could very badly, and do seem to be very badly, backfiring Hamas if there really was some sort of logical strategy behind it. That said, the videos are also, on a certain level, giving a lot of grist to those forces in Israel, on the far right, on the extremist right, who already were arguing for, echoing Benjamin Netanyahu's line, the complete destruction of Hamas, the furtherance of this military operation in Gaza. What's interesting is Netanyahu has never backed away from what he sees as his sort of, cardinal demand, his original demand that Hamas be militarily, physically, spiritually destroyed as an entity, and that he wants all the hostages released, but he is not going to give up on that ultimate goal of also eliminating Hamas. That argument has, at certain times, more or less resistance encountered some in Israeli society. Those types of images on those videos are more likely to harden, sharpen the tone, sharpen the stance, have people much more hunkering down. When I say they're grist to the far right, they will be grist to those voices now who will be saying, let's push on with this campaign. We saw over the weekend the National Security Minister, Ben Gvir, visiting the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is a very revered site, both in Judaism and by Muslims. The Jews call it the Temple Mount, and it's sacrosanct. And he prayed there. And this is something that an Israeli minister has not done. It's overseen by Jordan, this site. It's supposed to be religiously neutral. You're certainly not supposed to have a cabinet minister pray there. It is seen by many as a very provocative gesture at a very, very volatile time. You have that. You obviously have the airstrikes, the Israeli airstrikes in Gaza, continuing to kill people. You have more people dying of malnutrition overnight, reports of. And you have a situation in which the aid trucks still aren't getting in. According to sources within Gaza, the Gaza Media Office, which, yes, obviously some people are going to reject their figures. The UN says that a lot of them are more or less reliable. There are thousands of humanitarian aid trucks waiting outside Gaza to get in. About 84 a day have been entering, really since Israel eased some of those aid restrictions on July 27th. Not enough. They say at least 600 trucks need to be getting in a day. They're also denouncing the airdrops. A lot of the people within aid groups within Gaza saying that not only are they ineffective, but they create a dangerous situation. We're seeing a hardening of the tone, a hardening of the impasse, a hardening of the lines really on all sides.
Doug, thanks very much. Doug Herbert, International Affairs Editor here on France 24.